Welcome friends, welcome to Physics in 20 minutes. In this video we are going to learn about gravitational potential energy, elastic potential energy, work done by other forces other than gravitational and elastic forces, work done by multiple forces. The prerequisite for this video is video number 34, 35 and 36. So what is potential energy? Energy associated with position is called potential energy. The word potential itself is derived from the word position. So there is a basketball in the image which is coming down. As it is moving down at its different positions vertically, its gravitational potential energy will be different, and it is a function of its position. So at this position its energy will be something else, at this position energy will be something else. As it goes down, energy will change. Generally its gravitational potential energy will decrease and kinetic energy will increase as it goes down. So that brings us to the definition of gravitational potential energy. For any body which is moving under gravity, the gravitational potential energy can be defined by this formula. If I denote gravitational potential energy by U, then it can be written as the weight of the body into its vertical position from a reference level. Normally it is referred as height from some level. Here the reference level is very important. So in each problem you have to observe it closely, that what is your reference level. We will see when the problems will come. So for example, if I have a body of mass m and this is my reference level. Choice of reference level is always in our hand. We can choose whichever level you want as your reference level in almost all the problems. So if this is my reference level, then its vertical position can be called y. It is along the y-axis, which we generally take vertical. In other terms, it is sometimes also written as h or height. So what will be the potential energy of this body? Can anyone tell me? So write mg into y, and I would represent it with a small suffix grav, grav. So this is the potential energy in gravity, and this equation we will call it as definition of what is called gravitational potential energy. Let's take some concrete example to understand it better. So if a body is moving downward, this is the block which is moving downward. Initially block was at a height and then it descended. Its initial position was y1 and its final position is y2. As the block is descending, y2 is less than y1. The displacement of the block is y2 minus y1. It is in the downward direction. The force acting on the block, weight or mg, it is also in the downward direction. There can be some other force which might work on the block, like air resistance or anything else. For the time being we will ignore it. So for this body which is moving downward, I will calculate the work done by the gravity. So work done by the gravity, I will call it as W grav, is force into displacement. The force is weight which is working downward. y2 minus y1 is the displacement which is working downward. Both are working in the same direction. So work is positive. Now W can be replaced by mg and bracket can be opened. So I will get mgy2 minus mgy1. The work done by gravity is positive as F and S are in the same direction. We have defined our potential energy as mgy. So mgy2 can be written as gravitational potential at position 2. mgy1 can be written as gravitational potential at position 1. So this equation can be written as work done by gravity is equal to mgy2 can be replaced by u grav 2, mgy1 can be replaced by u grav 1, or potential energy at position 2 minus potential energy at position 1. This is nothing but the final potential energy minus initial potential energy. So this can be written as delta U, or change in the potential energy. There is one issue with this equation. So you can see that if you check it carefully, U grav 2, that is potential energy at second position, is less than potential energy at the first position. Of course, because y1 is greater than y2. So this subtraction will be negative. So delta U is negative while W is positive. Work done by gravity is positive. So numerically it will be an issue here. So in order to fix that, I will put, so W grav is positive as delta U change in potential energy is negative. So in order to push this, I will introduce a minus sign. So I will write work done by gravity is negative change in the potential, negative change in gravitational potential. And that fixes all the issues. Let's take a body which is moving upward. So I have a body here. This is my reference level. The block is at a height y1 initially. Then the block moves to position y2. The displacement is y2 minus y1. Now you can see the weight mg is working downward. You can see that displacement is upward and the weight is working downward. So now they are in opposite directions, and since they are in opposite directions, in this case the work done by gravity will be negative. For work done by gravity is minus force into displacement, which is minus weight into y2 minus y1. I can again put mg in place of weight, open the bracket, and then multiply by this minus sign. Work done by gravity is negative and F and S are in opposite direction. Here things are straightforward. This is final mgy2 minus mgy1. I can take mgy2 as final gravitational potential, mgy1 as initial gravitational potential u1. This was u2, and I can substitute in this. I get W work done by gravity is negative of final gravitational potential minus initial gravitational potential. Final potential minus initial potential is change in potential delta U. This minus sign stays. So the work done by gravity is negative delta U grav. That means work done by gravity is negative of change in gravitational potential. So here you can see in this case the minus sign comes naturally. In the previous case you have to fix the minus sign. Okay, so going ahead, change in potential due to gravity, delta U is positive as mgy2 is greater than mgy1. Therefore, we can generalize our results from the last two discussions. So for any body which is moving under gravity, I can say that I can define my gravitational potential energy U grav as mgy, where y is its vertical position from a fixed reference level, and work done by gravity can be written as minus delta U, or negative of the change in gravitational potential energy. Remember that this negative sign is essential in the definition. Delta U depends only on the initial position and final position. Remember, it's mgy2 minus mgy1. So mg was all throughout constant. So delta U depends on initial position and the final position. And therefore work done by gravity also will depend only on initial position and the final position. And therefore it doesn't matter what path the body takes between the 2 points. So if you have 2 points, one at a higher level, one at a lower level, how you go from higher level to lower level, which path you take, whether you go straight line down, whether you take a curved path, it doesn't matter. What matters for calculating work done due to gravity is the difference of the potential energy of the 2 points. That's it. I can apply work kinetic energy theorem to this situation, and let's see what do I achieve. So work kinetic theorem was there. Total work done on the body equals the change in the body's kinetic energy that we had seen in the last class. So total work done on a body, which is in this case is work done by gravity, is equal to change in kinetic energy, that is final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy, which is delta K. But what is work done by gravity? So work done by gravity can be written as minus delta U gravity, or negative of change in gravitational potential. So I can put this in this equation. So I can write K2 minus K1 is equal to W grav, but W grav is negative of this. So I can bring this here. I have jumped one step. So minus sign is here. Change in potential is potential as final position minus potential at initial position. So delta U is U grav 2 minus U grav 1. Then I can open the bracket. So first term becomes minus, second term becomes plus. Now I will bring all quantities which has been subscripted as 2 on the left side. So K2 and U grav 2, I'll bring them on the left. So this, when this comes to the left, this becomes positive, and when K1 goes to the right, that also becomes positive. So I will write K2 plus U grav 2 is equal to K1 plus U grav 1. So if only gravity is doing work, that for any 2 points, K2 plus U2 is equal to K1 plus U1. So that means if K2 is half mv2 square kinetic energy, U2 is mgy2 potential energy. So sum of kinetic and potential energy at position 1 is equal to sum of kinetic energy and potential energy at position 2. So 2, 2, 1, 1. So these positions 1 and 2 are arbitrary. It is true for all the positions. Therefore, I can very safely say that for all the positions, the sum of kinetic energy and gravitational potential energy is constant. It remains the same, it doesn't change. There might be an interchange in between, but the sum remains constant. And this sum I will define as total mechanical energy. The sum of K and gravitational P is defined as total mechanical energy. Yes, so, and it remains constant. A quantity that stays constant in value is called a conserved quantity. When only the force of gravity does work, the total mechanical energy is constant. That is, it is conserved. And this is referred as one of the examples of law of conservation of mechanical energy. So can anyone tell me this riddle question? Which egg has more mechanical energy, more kinetic energy, and more potential energy? In gravity, the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy is going to be same for all the eggs. So this is my position 1, this is my position 2. Sum of both the energies is going to be constant. But as this one falls, the part of the potential energy will be converted into kinetic energy for this egg, and its kinetic energy will increase, potential energy will decrease. As the potential energy of this egg decreases, all the rest will have same original potential energy, and the kinetic energy of them will be 0. So what happens if along with gravity there are other forces? like friction or air resistance. So we put them in the category of other. So gravity is one category, anything else we will put them, viscosity could be there, friction could be there, air resistance could be there, we can put them in the other category. Total work done will be obtained by W other plus W grav. Work done by others plus work done by gravity will give me the total work done. I can again apply work kinetic energy theorem. Remember, the work kinetic energy theorem applies on the total work done is equal to K2 minus K1. So I can bring this here. So work done by others plus work done by gravity is K2 minus K1. Work done by gravity is negative change in potential. Then I can open this bracket and do some shuffling. So work done by others comes here. This minus and this minus will make U1 as positive, that will come here. U2 is negative, it will go on the other side and become plus. K2 will stay here. K1 is negative, it will come on this side and it will become positive. So you can see initial kinetic energy plus initial potential energy plus work done by others is equal to final kinetic energy plus final potential energy. K1 plus U1 is nothing but E1. So these two terms, or the first two terms, is nothing but total initial mechanical energy plus work done by others. Right hand side, K2 plus U2 or final kinetic energy plus final potential energy is final total mechanical energy. That will come as E2 over here. So E1 plus work done by others is E2. So the work done by others is E2 minus E1, which is nothing but the change in the total mechanical energy. Therefore, the work done by all the forces other than gravitational force equals the change in the total mechanical energy of the system. Whenever only gravity is doing work, total mechanical energy is conserved. But when the other forces are also doing work, then there can be a change in the total mechanical energy. Now coming to the elastic potential energy. So I have this spring to which a mass m is attached and it is at a relaxed position, x is equal to 0. The surface on which the mass is resting is frictionless and the normal reaction from the surface will balance the gravity. So you can ignore gravity. Suppose the spring is stretched to a position x1. So the displacement directed from the mean position, so it is x1 working outward and force is opposite to the displacement in case of a spring. So the force works inward. If I stretch it further, then the displacement increases and the force which is proportional to displacement in case of a spring also increases in length. Okay, so F is equal to kx. I will write it in magnitude. Work done by the spring in stretching from x1 to x2, that is stretching from this position to this position, we can obtain it very easily. We have done it earlier. It's a variable force, not constant, unlike in gravitational force. So we can take an integration. Force kx is working towards left, displacement is working towards right. So they are in opposite direction, so a minus sign, you integrate it. So integration of kx is half kx square, you put the higher limit. So kx2 square minus kx1 square with a minus sign outside. And therefore you can bring this minus sign inside. Half kx1 square term becomes positive while half kx2 square terms becomes negative. So you can see that the elastic work done by the spring is given by half kx1 square minus half kx2 square. So if x2 is greater than x1, then the spring is stretching. Work done by the elastic forces is negative. The kinetic energy will decrease in this case. And if x2 is less than x1, then the spring is relaxing. The work done by the elastic forces is positive, and the kinetic energy will increase in this case. I can define elastic potential energy as half kx square. This is my definition of elastic potential energy. Remember, just as we defined gravitational potential energy as mgy, we can define elastic potential energy as half kx square. So the first term, half kx1 square, can be written as u elastic 1. Second term, half kx2 square, can be written as u elastic 2 with a minus sign in between here. Now this I can take minus common, and then I can write u elastic 2, which is final value of elastic potential energy, minus u elastic 1, which is initial value of elastic potential energy. But the final value minus initial value is the change in the elastic potential energy. This can be replaced by change in the elastic potential energy delta u elastic, and the minus sign will persist. So the work done by elastic forces is equal to negative of delta u elastic. Just like in gravity, it was work done by gravitation. Gravity is negative of delta u gravity. So we are on the same lines as that of the gravity. So we can again apply work kinetic energy theorem to this situation. You can see as the spring stretches, the speed of the block will go on decreasing. As the spring relaxes, the speed of the block will go on increasing. So there is a change in kinetic energy. So I can apply work kinetic energy theorem to this situation, which says that the total work done, which is work done by elastic forces, is k2 minus k1. The work done by elastic forces is half kx1 square minus half kx2 square, which is u elastic 1 minus u elastic 2. Therefore, u elastic 1 minus u elastic 2 is equal to k2 minus k1. Therefore, I can shuffle the terms ending with 1. I will keep it on one side. Minus k1 comes to left, it becomes plus k1. As minus ul2 goes to right, it becomes plus ul2. Look at it, this equation is nothing but initial kinetic energy plus initial elastic potential energy is equal to final kinetic energy and final elastic potential energy. So kinetic plus potential initially is equal to kinetic plus potential finally. So sum of K and P at position 1, these two, is equal to sum of K and P at position 2, which is equal to these two. Now again, since the positions are arbitrarily chosen, it is true for all the positions, and therefore we can say that the sum of kinetic energy and elastic potential energy, K plus UL, is constant for all the positions, and this is again called as total mechanical energy in case where only the elastic forces are working. So when only the elastic forces does work, the total mechanical energy is constant, that is conserved. So this is another example of law of conservation of mechanical energy. Last topic, what will happen if multiple forces are present? That is, if the gravity is also there, elastic forces are also there, and others, air resistance, friction are also there. So what happens if multiple forces are present? So I can write work done, total work done is W other plus W gravity plus W elastic. But the total work done is K2 minus K1, that is work kinetic energy theorem. So I can write all these three as equal to K2 minus K1. And then I can do my usual substitutions. So I am interested in work done by others. So I'll keep it on the one side, bring these two on the right side. So minus WL minus W grave plus K2 minus K1. I can do regular substitutions. W elastic is minus delta U elastic. W gravity is minus delta U gravity. So minus signs will go off. Now W U elastic is final potential minus initial potential. W U gravity is final gravitational potential minus initial gravitational potential. This is final elastic potential minus initial elastic potential plus K2 minus K1. Now I can write all the terms starting with 2 at one place and 1 at other place. So I can put this and this at one place. So these two are together. Minus is common center. 1 is here. Okay. So this term is nothing but total final mechanical energy, E2. This term is nothing but total initial mechanical energy, which is E1. So E2 minus E1 will give you work done by other, as we have established earlier that when others are working, total mechanical energy will change. Just that remember, here the total mechanical energy is due to both elastic forces as well as gravitational forces. So the work done by all the forces other than gravitational and elastic force equals the change in the total mechanical energy of the system. So we will stop here. In the next class, we are going to look at the relation between the potential and the conservative forces. Thank you.